Good morning, everyone. Oh man, it feels good to be back in the chair. It feels good to be doing a drop live with you guys. Probably can't see because of the lighting, but I actually pretty sunburnt. I'm not sure if you guys can tell or see. I actually have been in Playa del Carmen, Mexico for the past 6 days. So apologies if you've tweeted at me and I haven't responded. If you messaged me, I haven't responded. I very much unplugged, but am refreshed and ready to do a few things. We're going to talk about the drop today, which is, of course, the Vote Loki comic #1. We're going to talk about the gem squeeze that is happening. We're going to talk about the OMI price, which, I mean, I hadn't checked it in multiple days. And so when I looked and saw that it was under 0.005, I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. So we're going to talk all about that. I'm also going to do an unboxing. I actually have the OG Devil Bunny Tristan Eaton that I bought the physical at Dcon. So I'm going to be opening that up. I thought it'd be fun to just kind of get into it with you guys. But good morning, everyone who's hopping in here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. But before we do anything, we are going to, of course, go ahead and get ourselves set up for success with the app. Make sure that we are good to go. Let's see. Good morning, Penny. Renee, what is going on? Dean Martin. Hey, Taps, huge fan of yours. Keep killing it. Thank you so much. What's going on, Yannick? Vince 2A, what's going on? Can we explain why OMI goes down? Yes, let's talk about the price of OMI. It is at an area that I never thought it would be. No problem, Vince. OMI won't go up until new exchanges, plus whole market is down. Whole market is down. Yep, Penny's already on top of it. Crush the FUD. That's what I'm known for, right? The FUD crusher. By Italy, what's going on? Tap's thoughts on FA Harley, thinking of getting one while it's cheap. I think FA Harley Quinn just makes sense to have in your collection, period. I have one and am not selling her simply because she's the first appearance. She's the black, she's also from the season 1 black and white. There's, you're probably going to keep seeing more Harley Quinn, just like we see more black and white. We'll probably see more colored Harley Quinn as well. So she's one to hold on to long term, I would say. Let's see. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen and let's get ourselves set up for success. We'll talk about the drop and then we're going to do the unboxing and then we'll get into the significance of this comic. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. So I usually pull this time.gov screen up just to make sure that we are pretty close on time. Let's see how it looks. Haven't really done any of my pre-drop stuff, but we've got 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and reset that. Let's go ahead and reopen it a few times. Now, the drops have been, what I've noticed, a little bit, the comics seem like they're harder lately. The blind boxes seem like, or thus the normal drops seem like they're easier between like the motorcycle and the plans and all that. The plans I did not hit, but the motorcycle, I think it's such a cool collectible to have. And I think people who are not stacking the motorcycles, like think about them similar to how you did with the DeLoreans, right? Or like not so much the gliders. I think the glider is really cool too, but I think about what will look like in the Veveverse, right? I think about how vehicles will be able to race, like how Dan talked about how you would be able to race the DeLorean against the Ecto 1 potentially. So if that's the case, then you think something that's animated, well, it's mostly animated, right? Like the light flickers on and all that. I think the motorcycle would be something as well, right? So I think about vehicles as a long-term hold, and it's smart to stack up some that are low in price, especially because they'll probably go up higher, just like the DeLoreans did. But let's go ahead and go to settings, my files, move all downloaded files, and see where we are. Now, I'm not going to be spamming it. I'm going to be timing it. Looks like it's pretty close. And we'll see how that goes. I've heard mixed things. And let's see how close this time is. I heard from Mr. Hello K that he uses a different clock. And I think he mainly only uses it for rebounds, but I want to see how far off it is. Oh, it looks like it's pretty off. This one's like a whole second faster, though. That's weird. It's called Quinn.com. 24. And now it's slower. I don't know. This clock's so weird, but I've seen him, but he told me that he uses one, so I'm kind of curious. We'll try that for the rebounds. We'll see how it goes. But all right, let's get into the drop. What's going on, everyone who's hopping in here? Tristan Eaton. Yep, we're gonna do that unboxing here shortly. Whale games. There's been a lot of it, man. Taps, let's go. Good morning. What's going on, Smells Fun? Happy to see you, man. What's up, Taps? How'd you do on the 007 drops? I did okay. I mean, I didn't hit the plans, but I mean, it stayed around its drop price, right? Like I actually just scooped the plans this morning. I thought they would go lower, which they might still, but I grabbed a good mint at like $92, which it dropped for $87. So bang, bang, Niner gang, let's go. I just got Donald and Daisy. Nice floor price. What do you think? I haven't looked at the floor price on it yet, but it's probably a good snag. Everything is so cheap, and we'll get into some of that pricing, but it's crazy to see just how low everything is. Should I get Elsa or Hat? I would go Elsa personally, but that's me, right? 30 minutes till drop. Yep, we've got exactly 27 minutes left to go. Has there been any mention of user-to-user NFT trading with app? Yes, they actually did mention this during the AMA, which I will be doing a recap of. It was pretty solid updates. The only problem is, again, timelines, right? Like we don't get enough actual hard timelines. So they said it is coming, but they didn't say exactly when. What's going on, Flamingo? What are you looking to pick up since the market is way down? There's a couple different things, and there's one that I've been looking at, but there's actually about 6 different things I've been watching that have been going lower. We'll talk about that and get into a little bit more because there are so many different things that, man, it is right now a bloodbath. So right now, when everything is red, that's when you want to really look for a lot of these key things that are going to be, that are going to rally back once the market comes back. Now the question is, when will the market come back, right? Because in the AMA, Alex already did say that he was referring to the things that were like the spicy end of month drop, or the spicy end of month thing is he's just saying that it was like going to be a lot of different drops. I don't know if I fully believe that. I think there's a lot of speculation still. That's why the prices haven't been rallying. But I do think that we'll start to see things probably start to happen probably around beginning, if not mid-March, on the price action going back up. I think we're going to see a lot of key drops are going to happen like the end of the month as well as beginning of the month. We already know that Givenchy, sorry, not Givenchy, Rewind Collective next drop will be happening sometime in March and probably the beginning. So that will be our next really, I think, big drop, just looking at the price of Pride, even though it is not Givenchy. Rewind is doing a lot of big things in the NFT space. So those are definitely ones to collect. I will, regardless of price, be grabbing those. Now let's get into today's drop. So vote Loki #1. The next Marvel digital comic drops on Monday today. Let's go. The next offering in Veve's digital comic lineup, another iconic comic from Marvel, vote Loki #1, fully readable with 5 cover rarities in blind box format. If you're not familiar with this version of Loki, this is President Loki, right? So if you haven't seen Loki on Disney Plus yet, highly recommend it. It was such a weird kind of series. And I remember it took me like probably about 2 episodes to really get into it, but it was solid. And they revealed a lot of really cool characters in it. That's where Loki Gator came from. That's where this President Loki came from. There's a whole multiverse and a whole, in the, what's it called? The time, can't remember what off the top of my head, but all these different types of Lokis that live in alternate realities and worlds. And that's one of them right here is Loki President. And that's why you see him with the badge and all that, or the pin that says vote Loki. Celebrating President's Day. I've noticed a pretty big trend with Marvel, like looking at different types of holidays. Also Disney, right? We saw the Lady and the Tramp for Valentine's Day. So we could always probably assume there's going to be a themed drop either from Marvel or from Disney, most likely on a holiday. I think that's a pretty safe bet at this point. President of the United States. That's right. Got a lies has been set. Okay, so there's only 30,000 editions. It's not like extremely rare, but still rarer than the 60K. So it's still going to be a pretty hard drop. 21,000 of the common cover of the. There's gonna be 5,000 of the uncommon, 2,350 of the rare, and 1,050 ultra rare. Only 600 of the secret rare. So this comic in physical world is not really sell for a ton. There's a ton of different variants and different looks, and there's only, I believe, 4 total of the Loki series of these drops, right? So there's a ton of different variants of these covers, which is pretty cool. And of the ones that I could find, I could only find this cover and this cover. And this is a variant cover right here. Now, these are created by Ecomi, Veve, but I could not find this cover anywhere. So I'm assuming it's pretty rare, but on the actual price of these comics, you can see that a 9.8 vote Loki, the common cover runs for around $300, which is not really like high. I couldn't really find, I found another one of the variant that was running for around like 250, but nothing extreme. And again, I could not find that secret rare comic cover. So that really stuck out to me as something like, okay, if I can't find it, maybe then it is pretty rare, or maybe it is something that's just, I found this cover a lot. This Lupacino variant cover I found a lot, but I actually think that one's a really cool one. I wish we had that one. Yeah, so in the physical world, this comic does not do great, but the character is pretty solid. We actually see on Sideshow that there are a bunch of scale statues of Loki President. Even this one has the one with Loki Gator, which I don't think is a spoiler alert, but in the show, Loki Gator attacks him and bites his hand off. So it's pretty awesome to see Loki Gator in full attack mode. I prefer Loki Gator over President Loki personally, but I do have all of the Loki Gators. And you can see pins. Like he's a pretty liked character in that Marvel Cinematic Universe, and bringing him into the show, it makes you kind of wonder, could we see him further? And there has been talk about a potential spinoff done just solely with this character. I don't know if they'll really do it, but he is his own character. He comes from a different world. He did go into the, what was it called? The Nexus event, Established Sacred Timeline. And there's a whole bunch of Lokis that go into this. I don't want to reveal too much about this in case you haven't seen the show, but he's a pretty cool character. And that is President Loki. Time Bureau. Thank you, Rip Curls. Time Bureau is what I was thinking. What's going on, Golden Boy? If everyone hasn't yet, please hit that like button. Let's make sure that most of the fam is hopping in here together and that we are able to do this drop. We've got exactly 20 minutes left to go. So before we do anything, let's go ahead and do this unboxing. Let's go ahead and see how this OG Devil Bunny looks. So if you're not familiar, what's going on? So let me catch up to a few other things. I got an L on both, bought the motorcycle on secondary for $135. Wow, good price. Kind of wish I jumped in when it was 90. I was seeing double-digit number for floor price. Jeez. Same, I've been picking up Scarlet Witch comic books for the movie. Yeah, I think that's pretty smart. They're building a whole lot of lore, like added lore about these characters. So like the price of these comics, if they are low, they could go up because of the love of the characters, right? C3PO is around to 3K. Ooh, it's a pretty good price. I'm not gonna lie, but there's so many other deals. When you look at some of these prices, I mean, look at how far things have dropped. Supergirl. No, I want to see Supergirl. Wonder Woman. Look how cheap Wonder Woman is. People were clamoring for her. Selling at $289, $299. So like so that's one thing is like, I get it. If you're hunting blue chips, it makes sense. But C3PO was around what? 4,000, 4,300. And it was for even like during all this dip, it stayed around like 3,900, 3,700. So now it's probably around what, 3,200, 3,300. But if you collect for $3,300, you could grab a bunch of things that are a lot cheaper. Maybe grab like 10 of something. And with that, the price of something like a Wonder Woman or another character could double, more than double, by the next, Wonder Woman drop, or the next time we're at like a high. People start creating a narrative, and that's what I kind of look at. So we'll see 3PO double in price, go to $6,000 probably once we get Star Wars, but we don't know when we're going to get Star Wars. So that price could continue to go down as more anticipation gets built up for it. And we're actually starting out the anticipation once people kind of start forgetting that, okay, we're going to eventually see something like that. Because we're selling a Goofy for one or both of the new golden moments. I wouldn't. No. Yeah, I know that's kind of weird to say. Only, like, not financial advice, of course, but I wouldn't say so, only because the Venticular cards have done really well at holding, even though Goofy is down to like 2.2K, I believe, right now. A lot of people gave me crap when I sold mine, but I said, I do think they're a little bit high. I think it should be roughly around this price, but people love these things and people have been stacking them. So I do think the price will go back up. With the golden moments, the second release, there's not a whole lot of love for them, which is really surprising because I do think they're really cool. Lady the Tramp is down to, why is this down to less than $1,000, right? When's the last time we've seen a golden moment less than $1,000? It's been a long time, I would say. So the fact that, it's 7,700, right? Versus also, what's the Goofy, the Venticular? 4,400, and it's a secret rare versus what, a uncommon and a rare, or is it common and uncommon? So I think personally I would stick with this and not sell it, but it's up to you. Common is the best cover. I agree with you there. Morning, Taps. What's going on? Yo, hi, Taps. Great to see you again. Thanks for all the incredible knowledge. Of course, man. Thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate you. Smash that like button. Everyone, appreciate you so much. Who else excited about the Kenobi series coming out, right? Oh, man, I saw the reminder, the notification thing come up on Disney Plus, and I am very excited for that. Can't wait. All right, let's get into unboxing. Let's do it. All right, so I actually have not done an unboxing ever, so let's get into it. I think this is a cool one to get. So Tristan Eaton, we had the OG Devil Bunny. Probably shouldn't do that so close to my face. We had the OG Devil Bunny drop with NFTs on Veve, which we saw, of course, during Dcon. And I think they're really cool looking. When I walked into Dcon, it was one of the first booths that I saw, and I wanted to meet Tristan Eaton, right? Because I'm a fan of his art. I think his murals and everything else he's created was awesome. And I started talking to him and the staff there, and he was saying that the OG Devil Bunny actually was before the Dunny. That Dunny is loved; it's well known, but he actually drew it on a bar napkin, and it's his first kind of like really big character before the Dunny. And I said, okay, like I need to grab one of these physicals, especially since they were low supply, a very exclusive release. So that is what I bought. I think I'm like 95% sure I bought the black one, but Dcon was quite some time ago. So let's see what we got, fam. I just like the black one the best because I noticed that it had the scythe instead of the hammer. Even though his first, his drawing, or the first one technically is the red one. I remember him saying that. Yeah, goodness. All right. Hopefully it didn't hurt too many ears. I feel like it's Christmas. Ooh. Big box. All right. OG Devil Bunny. Tristan Eaton logo right there. 18 years ago, I drew a sketch on, it was the box in a diner in Crown Heights, Brooklyn when I was 24 years old. The sketch inspired a series of art toys which landed in museums around the world, inspired a generation of artists and designers who made it their own. The cultural phenomenon, the love and support of the toy they designed changed my life forever. I found a global community of like-minded artists, and I found a world of people who collected and supported my art. As a tribute to everyone who supported my journey as an artist and as a toy designer, and as a moment to their power of art, I've revisited this sketch and given it in the vinyl treatment it always deserved. Behold the OG Devil Bunny. Let's see it. Woo! Look at that guy. I think it's pretty clean. You know, I'm such like I know like the collector mentality is to always keep it in the box. And I've always, like, people have been like, oh, you're such a noob for taking it out of the box. But I want to display it on my shelf. I want to like show it off. I want to take a look at it. I want to get my hands on it. And I know that's not the right way to do it, but I always want to have it displayed physically out of the box. So I need to figure out how to do that. It comes with a little authentication card. Let's see. Oh man, he gypped me. I was one of the first people at that booth. However, I got edition number 144 of 150. You think I would have gotten like maybe number, I don't know, like 20? Like I was literally one of the first people in that booth when we got there. So, but hey, whatever. I'm excited to have them. There's only 150 physical of this collectible. So I think that's pretty cool to have. Color, location, LA. Sweet. All right. I think that's what's awesome too, is when you look at several of the collectors from Veve, a lot of them have now become physical collectors, right? Like the comic prices have shot up. The price of physical Todds and several of the black and white collectibles, which I have one behind me that we've not yet seen on Veve, have shot up. So you think about how we're having an effect on the physical collecting world. I don't understand how people are not embracing NFTs if you have a physical collectible business or physical comic business. Like there was recently a video from a pretty big comic YouTuber who basically said, like, don't waste your money on the on Veve Comics. And I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why would you not embrace what we're doing? All it takes is a little bit of research into the prices of collectibles and comics that have been on Veve, and you'd be wildly, wildly happy seeing just how much we have had an effect on the price of physical collectibles and comics. So it just makes sense. It's a smart move for any artist. It's a smart move for any physical business, which is why Chaosium announcement really surprised the crap out of me. I was really thrown back by the fact that, and I get it, like they have an older audience, you know, they've been doing this for decades, but their outcry, I was reading some of the crazy comments from the physical collecting, you know, game fans of Chaosium, and I could not believe how close-minded it was, and just how their outcry was trying to basically cancel Veve, you know, with Chaosium. And it's insane just how close-minded people can be. But yeah, so I'm stoked on that. Love it. Thanks so much, Blanc. Yes, Vondi, yes, take it out of the box. You can be a collector and keep it pristine on, or can be a fan and enjoy it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Show me the bunny. I love it. Show me the OMI. Looks great. Nice. Hot. OG. Will you get MCP points for the purchase gems in the app? If not, that would be a good idea. Will you get MCP points for purchased gems in the app? I don't know. You won't get purchased. You won't get MCP points for gems. You'll only get it for the actual collectibles. All right, we've got 8 minutes left to go. I'll talk about how I'm doing this. Real talk, I just did it. I just unwrapped, unwrapping the bunny. I think I'm going to take him out. I think I'm going to take him out and put him on my shelf behind me. But I did just unbox it and reveal what he looked like. There's only 150 of this black and white OG Devil Bunny, so happy to have one. I think he's cool. I like him. He's gonna go on my shelf. All right, so everyone does a different technique, right? I think what I'm gonna be doing is what has been working for me. So at roughly around a minute, I'll be hopping out of the screen, hopping back in, just kind of make sure the timer is back in line. And then I'm just gonna be literally one tapping it and trying to time it as best as I can. So it's gonna be literally just a quick tap. Of course, if you're too early, you get screwed. If you're too late, you're not gonna get it. So that's, I've been pretty good about comics, like better lately. I think because of how they've been crushing down on bots. I think because of like my weird little getting really close to the screen technique has been working for me. But let me know what you got. I don't think anyone's really spamming it anymore because we're seeing that they purposely have like put, different effects on it that it doesn't help to spam it anymore. In fact, sometimes it does not help you get it at all. Let's see. So I do want to talk about the price of OMI as well, because everything is down right now, right? Right now, all of the collectible prices have significantly retraced, right? I mean, man, everything is just so down. Right now is the best time you want to be buying. And I understand if you need to sell collectibles because you want to buy other collectibles. If you don't need to do that, don't sell right now. And not financial advice, but you're purposely choosing to make moves that are undercut from where you were like what, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. Now the market will rebound. It goes in waves just like it always has. Let's see, I want that one. I want what's an older collectible? Let's look at, I want to do black and white. Let's do Captain Carter. There she is. Okay, so let's drop this. So you look at the price of Captain Carter, and the reason why it was way down and then rallied back up, I mean, it's a single set, and we saw actually a big spike on February 11th, which I'm not sure why actually there. There's been a lot of talk about Captain Carter, but you look at the price and it rallied really, really high, and then it consolidated down. Like this obviously was a good time to buy. And then it shot back up to over $433, and it consolidated down, and it was at $249 roughly its price. Now it's at $278. It's still a good area. So this one hasn't done in a significant drop, but it is still roughly around half of the floor price that it was at. Even, I guess, maybe like 60, not 60 cent or 60%, maybe like 40%. So if you look at like Captain Carter, and then let's look at like Captain America. I want common. Boom. Wow, it's at $100. This one's pretty significant, right? You see, like everyone was sleeping on the common, and then it rallied all the way up to $300, and now it is at a third of the price. So right now, a lot of the moves can be made. And you see, like it's always kind of like before the big run up, it bounced around like $65 to $85. So at this $100 price, or just under $100, it's a pretty solid buy in my opinion. You know that Captain America is going to always be a pretty big character. You know that when you come in the app, that it is going to be, one of those ones that people just want it, right? It's going to be in your showroom. There's a ton of them, but we know that some of that is being cut down. Yeah, so it's things like this that you want to make moves because you know the market is going to rebound. We got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. I did want to talk about OMI price as well. So, man, talk about a beat down on price. Now, why is this happening? Why is the price down so much? Well, right now, all of crypto has absolutely taken a dive, right? Let's see, ETH at right now, 27. Boom, boom. We can see that is starting to rally back up a bit, like not a lot, right? I don't like that it's not really doing a whole lot, but it's been lower. Man, ETH was at $2,200 at one point. That's nuts. So because it made it only made like 2 big jumps really on the one day. It's fighting. Like this doesn't scream a rebound to me. This screams that it's fighting and it's going to go down lower. So with OMI, I mean, until we get exchanges, it's not going to rally significantly, right? And then we know that the swap from OMI on to GoChain OMI to ERC on OKX and Gate.io is still not complete. Exchanges are not here. So all of the timelines keep getting pushed out. We know that OMI utility is going to be pushed out. We know that the OUP article that Reese is still waiting for Dan to prove it. I mean, until we get something significant on OMI, there is no stability of this price. And because of that, I legitimately did not think we would see below 0.005 again. Because it hasn't been tracking with Bitcoin and Ethereum really, because there was so much built up around it. But a lot of that belief is fading now. So because of that, this price is real low, right? We've seen it lower in the past 3 months, but it's pretty freaking close on the 3-month low, which that is insane. And it's just been bouncing around for quite some time. Yeah, not stoked on the price of OMI, not stoked on the delays. And because of that, we're going to continue to see, I mean, there could be some buy-ups on this, but I don't know. There's no support really. And if Bitcoin and Ethereum keep going lower, I don't see it picking back up. All right, now let's hop. I mean, I do see it picking back up once exchanges come, but again, when are exchanges? It's a good point. I don't have kids, Slenderson, but yeah, if I did, I would probably be a lot more. I'd have a glass case probably, or like a plastic case, something like that, just to make sure that they can't be played with. All right, we got 1 minute. Question: your price prediction on GMs in a couple of years. I saw a few people who actually did some pretty good price predictions on. I think you can't really stack all golden moments the same. That's the only thing I would say is I've seen a few people who have done like a broad stroke of price predictions on golden moments as if they're all somewhat equal going to go up in price. And I don't think that's the case. I think several will fall off versus those who are going to have significance. Like I think the Star Wars, I think the Matt Groening signature under Homer and Bart, I think Elsa, I think Wally. There's certain ones that I just don't think we'll be able to hold to the test of time. Let's go. 101 watching, like 33 likes. Yes, please hit that like button. I appreciate you, fam. We're going to be going for the rebound after this as well. We got 30 seconds. Oh, I totally forgot. All right. 19 seconds. I have never won a comic on the drop. Must be doing something wrong with timing. I hope you hit on this one. Everyone let me know if you hit a W or an L. Let's get it. Here we go. Oh, I clicked too early. Oh, I clicked too early. No bueno. You notice on my screen nothing happened, right? It's because I was timing it and I just clicked too early. And if you click too early, nothing happens. Well, we're going to be going for the rebound, and I'm going to be trying Hello K's weird little clock that he talked about, Quinn.com. So this is so tiny. How do I blow this up? So once we get to 59, so 3 minutes and 59 seconds, that's when we're going to be going for the rebound. Let me know if you guys hit. Let's go. Hopefully we got some W's in here. Dang. Mega Wheels dumping 100 million OMI in the past 2 days. Oof. 1 minute. Yep. Exchanges won't help the price. The moment doesn't make sense to release exchanges until we can ride a wave in the overall market. True. That's a pretty good point. held homie since 0.003, and I don't think I'll be selling off anytime soon. Makes no difference. I agree. Like I hope it keeps going lower so I can stack up and more keeps burning. With all these drops, price of OMI keeps going lower. Oh man, we're gonna be burning a ton more OMI. L. I messed up the timing. I was too early. Me too. LW, congrats, Randy Rand. big L. What site is that? It's called Quinn, KWYNN.com. No vote for Loki. No way to win buy button. Nope, got nothing. I have much better luck on blind boxes, but what is the website? I can't see the URL. It is KWYNN.com. And I'm going to be clicking at the 3 minute and 59 seconds on the dot. And then if that doesn't work, I'm going to be clicking at the halfway point of this timer at the 7 minute, 59 seconds, and we'll see how it goes. Nice. Boom. W, finally in the last 30 drops. See, people win. It's just, you never know which one it's going to be, but happy to hear Risky Crypto. And for those of you who don't know, if you didn't watch the AMA, I will be doing a recap of it. But they did say that we'll be seeing it rolled out in different, kind of like not as exciting drops and mixed in with our normal drop techniques. But they did say, or resaid, that we probably won't see it fully rolled out and replacing this like all systems entirely for at least 2 months. So that's a long time. So that means that we're going to have more grinding on these little tips and tricks and try to get these drops. So make sure you stay on it. Trying a new method. I saw some people holding the buy button down and letting go on time, but that doesn't seem to work anymore. I saw that a long time ago. It never really worked for me. Many months ago, it kind of did, but not a long time. So I guess 10 cents this year is out of the picture for good. For OMI, I would definitely not say that. I would say 10 cents is possible if we get another crypto rally, if we get multiple exchanges, if and when we get utility by then. The utility side is the biggest piece. We need utility. I can't say that enough. It's driving me nuts that it's been pushed out probably until the end of Q2. And then you loop in the Veveverse. There's going to be a whole lot of awareness around it. So I still stick around. I think that maybe like 6 to 9 cents this year is possible. Hold on, we got to go. Rebound. No go. All right, let me trying at the 7 minute and 59 seconds. I'm going to try probably around the, how far off is this thing? 17. This one's pretty far behind. You can see this uncorrected time after display time. 8 milliseconds. This thing's crazy. No idea what that does, but let's see if that helps. All right. Did anyone hit on the rebound? 4L. Give me all those burns. I hope it's this price at the end of the year. I'll keep stacking. Exactly. Right. Like, I know this is bad to say. And I don't want to knock on wood. I want the bear market to just happen. I want it to hit, like I've been, stacking liquidity on the side for a while now, and I don't have all the liquidity on the side I want yet, but I want it to happen just because everything's down right now, but I think things will go down lower. And I think that's when a lot of consolidation happens. I think that's when people will choose to invest in certain things that can still go up in value, like Veve, like collectibles, like comics. And I want the bear market to happen already, so that way I can just start buying things really cheap, because there's a lot of euphoria. People were buying Bitcoin at $63,000. People were buying Ethereum at $4,000 to just hold and not use for NFTs. And it's things like that where, I was waiting for prices to drop, and prices are down, but I think we could see more. So I'm not buying a ton at the current price, but I am adding when I can, but not going all in. W on rebound. Let's go. Congrats, Tom Miller. Pressing at 59 didn't work for me. I know, me either. First time on the rebound. Let's go. Congrats, Gakberg. W on the rebound. Wow, we got a bunch of rebounds. W on 4-minute rebound. Let's go. What did you guys do to get the rebound? Did you click at 359? Did you click at 359.5? Did you click at 358.5? Let us know. L. If you exchange ETH for OMI and MetaMask, the gas fee is less than $60 right now. That's good to know, actually. Have you heard of Bravegate, where you don't go for the drop so you don't lose your buy button for the rebound? So I have heard of it. I know Veve Vault and Hello K and a couple others have been doing this. I like the name Bravegate because, like, I don't want to risk it. I guess it makes sense to try it out on something like this kind of drop where it's like not a super exciting one. But I don't know, because I don't feel like I have the timing down as much on rebounds as I used to. I used to be great with rebounds, but now it doesn't really seem like it's going well. Jose says we are in a bear market. I mean, I think we're in a bearish run again so far. I don't think we're in a true bear market yet. And I had people telling me otherwise during summer when I kept telling people we're not in a full bear market yet. And then we rebounded out of it, right? And we had another rally. And I think that's what's going to happen again until we hit like a real financial crisis. Like if war actually does happen between Russia and Ukraine, which, not getting into politics, I think, I don't think that's likely, but there's a lot of, hubbub around it with media and all that. I think if there is, a big financial crisis, which, there's a lot of inflation that's hopping up. Oh, hold on. We got to rebound. Here we go. I missed entirely. Oh man, you guys didn't see my screen. Sorry about that. So I didn't lose my buy now button. I only lose my buy now button usually on the blind boxes. So let me know if you guys got a W on the second rebound. W on rebound, first comic in a long time. You guys got a bunch of rebounds. Got to win, first VV win, dope. Congrats, Doc. That's amazing. First VV win, period. Oh man, that's awesome. Justin, are you right? Pop one? What? How do you lose your buy button? I mean, so you lose your buy button usually on if you already hit it. So if you hit it, you lose your buy now button usually, or if it's blind box drop, clicked at 359.5. Only time it's worked on the past few drops. Good to know. On 359 exactly. See, everyone has different luck. It's interesting to see. Before your crypto cycle is over, we will follow the overall stock market, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I agree that the stock market does dictate still. It's still very much coupled. And then bam, yeah, so you hit it right at the 359. So that's what I was curious to. L8, 8L. Would you sell a percentage during a rally knowing you'll buy back in the retracement? Not with OMI. Like, my average OMI price is right around like 0.0036 now. So right now with it being at what? Yeah, 0.005. Like, that's, I guess, like a 40% gain, which is not terrible right now. But you know that it's going to have a price effect once the exchanges come. So why would I do that now for that low of a gain, right? Like, instead I could throw it in something else and probably get more than 40% and figure it out. So yeah, I'm not going to be taking anything like that right now. Oh, that's just most fun. Let's see. L's all the way around. W on first rebound, first successful drop after 2 months. Congrats. That's amazing. 2 months, man. Well done. Favorite comic on the app right now, not counting Grails. Huh. So, and if you didn't listen to AMA, they did say that the being able to present your comics in the showroom is coming. It'll be done in a really cool, like, collectible case. However, you're not able to read them in there. They did say that they're working on it. Alex said it looks really cool. So it has been designed out and is coming. As for time frame, who knows? But I collect one of every single comic. The only comic I don't have is, of course, the Spider-Man, which, man, the price does not go. Let me go to collectibles or comics. How do I find it? 252. There it is. This is so funny to me. So this comic, the 252 common, right? Like the price has not dropped down. People bought these and they just hold them, right? This is very much a whale game comic. Like the price for this, everything is down, but of course, this comic is $3,700 still. I'm not spending $3,700 just to have this comic. But what's funny is there are how many lists? Something changed about. There's been an update to Ecomi Wiki, and I don't really care for the update. Sorry about that, OMI the Clown. It's just there's been a couple things I don't really like about the new format, but the uncommon has listed less than the common, and it's selling for a less amount. $3,100 versus the $3,700. Now the color looks better than the black and white, but there's still less total editions you can have of the uncommon, yet it sells for less. The rare is 4,700. Ultra rare, geez, that's crazy. So I don't have one of these yet, but I feel like I need one eventually. But this is such a big thing that is overlooked with the Veve community is uncommons typically don't do as well as common of something that does really well. And I don't understand necessarily why. I know there's a certain look to this one versus this one, but if you're really, the only reason why this comic did so well is because of its scarcity. Now, with that in mind, you think that the uncommon would then do better than the common because of its scarcity, but it hasn't clearly, which is really, really like a weird miss that happens with Veve all the time, or at least us as collectors in Veve. All right. The price difference on, not sure what you mean there. Sorry, Mark G. What if I got rid of the drops and randomly assign NFTs to people who've been active for, say, last 24 hours? Then they'll have 24 more hours to pay for them, or they'd get redistributed. Interesting thought. I'm really excited for this new drop system, period. I think it's going to be so much easier to be able to get drops. And I know people are like, well, what do you mean? Don't you hit drops pretty frequently? I hit drops somewhat frequently, I guess, compared to others, right? But you're going to have less complaining about, well, even though so you're going to have less complaining about bots, even though I think we're going to have plenty of bots still. They're going to have, but there's so many things that they're doing right now that are taking care of bots that you see people. That's why also I think the markets have been down so much, is because people are just trying to sell, and it's creating a FOMO panic on the price. So as they shake out more bots, we're going to have all the shakeout continue a little bit more, and then we'll actually see some true price valuation gain, right? So the euphoria that we were seeing, I guess, a month ago, it was really because there was no crackdown of bots, because we didn't have any significant drops. They were trying to get everything worked out with the migration. And I think we're going to see the true value come back over the next few weeks, probably about 3 or 4 weeks. Thoughts on MTL news, fees, etc. MTL, I mean, the fact that it's being rolled out again, it's just going to be rolled out smaller batches coming. Nothing we can really do about it, right? I'll get into that on the next video, actually. News, fees. The fees I don't really care about, right? 10%. We already knew that there was going to be there's a fee already to sell. I do think it makes sense to. I'll share that in my next video, actually. There's a little bit of a hack that I think people have not really focused on. If you're patient, if you stack up gems instead of just cashing out and taking that fee hit, there's a hack that I don't think most are thinking about, and I want to touch on it in the video. Any news about the new listings? No, they did not say when the new listings are coming. They did say that they're still working on it. Probably at this point, I'm hopeful for mid-March, right? Like, I really thought we were going to get them by the end of this month, and everything's been delayed continuously. So I don't have any hope for this month anymore. When you think about, we can see something about Veveverse, realistically, they did say that we would see something probably around Q2. With everything else being so delayed, and with OMI utility not coming probably till Q2, I want to say Q3 for Veveverse. So maybe like August, September. So quite some time. Right. After 252, I gave up on one of every comic. Now I'm just collecting the #1 issues of comics. That's actually pretty cool. Good to know. Giving drops to active users would incentivize the new users. Veve will still wants to grow. Exactly. How soon do you think we could go to an exchange? I say probably mid-March. OMI price is different on the various exchanges. Are some exchanges having issues getting OMI coins? So they did say about the APIs are getting corrected. There is a difference between CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, and they are trying to calculate the total supply is incorrect. They're going to be having WOMI looped in, Go chain-based OMI, and the ERC-based OMI all together. So they're working on those APIs to have that corrected. Favorite gold moments, not including Walt. Thanks for all the Veve updates. Love the channel. Thank you so much. Favorite gold moment, not including Walt, to me, I love Elsa. I think Elsa is beautiful. The dress, the details, amazing. Other than that, R2D2, but I'd say Elsa then R2D2. Not in price action, of course, but just favorite overall. Justin brings up a really good point. Cash out in OMI, not MTL. Paper hands complaining about 10%, but selling their NFTs at 50% discount. Exactly. Or people who have already been cashing out off app and taking the risk, and they're either selling gems at like 60% of the price, right? So, I mean, 10% is nothing compared to what you can do today, what others are choosing to do today, right? So, yeah, I don't really care about the 10%. 5 years down the road, which performs better, OMI or Veve NFTs? From today, I would say OMI. But I mean, 5 years down the road, what do you think a Todd's going to be worth? What do you think a Walt's going to be worth? What do you think an Ultra or Spy is going to be worth? What do you think some of the drops that we haven't even seen yet are going to be worth? There's going to be some that eventually you just can't get ever, right? Not ever, but like for an extreme price tag. So, but I would say 5 years, OMI is going to win the battle. They're playing the long game. Do you know whether Trevor has moved on from Veve? It's a bit sad that Ecomi didn't even announce that he left or was leaving. Where is the transparency? So I don't know what happened with Trevor. We've not really seen posts from him. I think that's the case, but I don't really know. It is weird that they haven't announced anything yet, because maybe they didn't want to. Maybe he's doing something else and he didn't want them to. Or maybe he's just kind of taken a back seat and is still doing something on retainer with Veve. You don't really know, but it'd be great to get like a little bit more understanding about that too. Yeah, I agree. You think we'll be more GMs coming in the near future? I do think so. I know Alex said not really sure, but I do think we will see them come again, because Disney decides if we get more golden moments. Like, they decided that they wanted the Lady and the Tramp for Valentine's Day, so we could see another one come. I'm really wondering what it could be, but it could be tied to another holiday. They could just decide they want another fat drop because they made a ton of money off them. Yeah, so I do think we will be seeing more, but it could be a while. Maybe not until, I don't know, what's the next big holiday? There's nothing really lucky based, so I don't think St. Patty's Day would happen. Maybe with Mother's Day, maybe if they had like a mother's exclusive drop where you had like, I'd have to look at the golden statues to see, who are the mothers from there. Yeah, not really sure. Hold on. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, Zoo. For the $5 super chat, your opinion, Taps. I'm thinking about selling my rare Spider-Man to load up on Storm. So explain to me your logic there. We know that Storm will do well once we see her in Black Panther 2, but we also know that that's like the promos for it probably won't come until summer. And we'll probably see her in maybe X-Men 97. But the price of Storm really, really rallying compared to the actual Spider-Man's just becoming more and more rare. I mean, they're really down in price. I know that, right? And you've seen what the price action can do with Spider-Man, right? I don't want to be in comics. I want to be in collectibles. So you know some of these prices. Spider. $9.29. So you know some of these prices have been really, really high, right? But it is trending down very much so. So at the rare Spidey's current price, I mean, it was at around $2,000 to $2,300. Now it's roughly $929. So it has retraced more than 50%. But I've said this a few times, but do not forget that the first ever Marvel NFT is Spider-Man of all rarities, right? So the secret rare is down to 57K. I think it was actually lower at one point. The ultra rare is absolutely crazy how much it's dropped. I think it was at like 15K at one point. Now it's at 6,600. So something like this, it's crazy that Ben Riley's still that high, 7,100 Gs. Man, that really rallied. But something like this, you know, is going to rally back, right? People are going to be scooping some of these, which, I mean, maybe I should too. Commons. How much are commons? 575 still for a common. See, this is another thing to me where it's like the common for a Spider-Man is at this price still 575. But how much is an uncommon and a rare? An uncommon is $400. You have half of the total scarcity of the uncommon, and I actually like this pose better than the common. You have half, 16,000 versus 32,000 versus the common, and yet it is selling for $150, or sorry, not previously sold for 400. Wow. It's like $50 to $100 cheaper than the common. So why wouldn't you go for the uncommon versus the common? With the rare, it's, you know, what, twice the price, but there's only 9,000 of them. And it is significantly not that much compared to the secret rare, right? It's 9x the secret rare, but it is a huge fraction of the price. So I think, I don't know about selling it right now at its current price to load up on storms, is my personal opinion. Oh, he did. Reese did confirm that Trevor moved on when he was doing an interview with OBL, wishing the best. Oh man, well, I mean, at least he confirmed it. I wish they did like kind of have like a little goodbye for him on like an AMA. I think that would have been cool. What do you think if a collectible were to sell out at this point? For example, usually 3 to 6 Donnies on market. So if they were sold out, how would someone decide what to list on the market for? You kind of just shoot in the dark a little bit, right? So if a Donnie, I mean, Donnies have been, for the most part, really high, right? So if you wanted to sell your Donnie, likelihood of you selling it for 130K, good luck, right? Probably not going to happen. So if you wanted to sell it, your best bet is to try to look and see where did it last sell, that like legit last sell. When you see this price for, look at previously sold for 9,900,000, it's just changing accounts and hands, right? 1.4. This is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Previously sold for 250. I don't buy it. And like you look at the price, right? Floor price 145. So like this is so broken and off on the Donnie. Realistically, if you want to sell a Donnie, you could probably sell it for like 90K, probably 100K, but I don't think anyone's going to spend 130K on it. Maybe. I mean, it depends on how much people stacked up, but I don't really trust some of these prices. Like you look at Walt. I mean, well, yeah. So if something's sold out, you want to really kind of test the market a little bit. But if you're trying to actually offload it, you want to drop it significantly, right? So people sometimes see that as a big price move. So if there's like, if you list it for a Donnie for 110K, someone might pounce on it, right? Because it's a 20K difference between that and the 130K. But then you have the people who have stacked them up, and they'll maybe list them, or like then they'll just list 4 or 5 of them around 112K, 114K. They'll try to make it look not as significant, so that way they're protecting the actual floor of the Donnies. It's very much a smart whale tactic to do. All right, we got another super chat. Thank you so much. Are we allowed to say spicy? Thoughts on new IP? Spicy equals Hot Wheels. Much love to all. Thank you for the super chat, Aldous Halvely. Yeah, it sounds like the spicy thing is not was taken out of context, but I don't know if I buy that. I don't buy that. I think because of the market movement, they're now trying to backtrack and say, all right, well, we can't say things like this because then Alex got, a lot of people on Twitter were saying, hey, you had this effect on the market. You're trying to pump your own bags. I don't think he is. I think he's just naturally trying to be like funny and coy and sarcastic. But I think he's backtracking a little bit by saying that, there's not a big drop coming. He's just saying there's a lot of drops coming. I think I think there is still something coming at the end of this month. And that's, just kind of trying to cover the tracks. But Hot Wheels, I don't know about Hot Wheels. I think I think there could be something still pretty big coming maybe this Saturday, but we'll see. I completely agree with you, Digital Snipers. Lenticular cards and Steamboat Willie are at a great price right now, trying to pick up what I can while prices are low. I agree. I think that we'll still see a little bit of prices drop, especially if there is a significant drop this weekend. I think it's going to keep going a little bit lower. But right now, it's not going to drop significantly on Steamboat Willies. It's not going to drop significantly on Goofy Secret Rare. I think the lowest the Secret Rare Goofy could probably drop to is around like 2K. And then people will just snag them up because a lot of people were buying it at like 3K. A lot of people were buying it at 3.5K. So people will just stack and dollar cost average on their total holdings of those collectibles. So something to consider. That's an interesting question, Taxi. Does Veve have any legal obligation or any sense of moral duty of care like the stock market towards its investors? Anyone who has invested since last April has seen the app go from 5,000 users to over 2 million users, and the OMI token has gone down 70% in that time. What WTF is going on? So, legal obligation or sense of moral duty of care like the stock market? Not really, right? If you look at like how crypto, if you're talking about OMI, if you look at the price of crypto, or if you look at crypto versus stock pricing, when and it's an ICO, right? So like it's very different almost from like a public offering in a way, even though it's similar in how it's rolled out. They don't really act that way, right? Like they don't really feel the need to hop on and give justification on the price dropping versus like a stock, right? Like we're not really like we're shareholders in a sense, but not really. The reason why they created the token is like to actually have money to start off, but also because it was tied to Veve. Veve is the company, and now there's a whole lot of buildup on OMI because we know it's burning. We know there's going to be scarcity. We know that there's going to be a supply shock eventually. We know it's going to have utility, but it still doesn't have utility today. So for them to really come on and justify the price action on it, I don't think they have any legal need. I wish they did jump on and actually give us more, like, hey, we're sorry that you've invested in our token this much and it's dropped so much because we haven't given any utility for it in a year, or the fact that we haven't had an exchange in X amount of long. I do wish they touched more on that because they know so many people have poured life savings. People have gone all in. People have mortgaged their house for OMI. And I wish they did more justification or more just talk around it than they do, right? It's mostly around Veve. And that's because there's more that's happening with Veve. And so I do wish they did something like that, but I don't think there's any legal obligation necessary there, at least from a like a larger kind of business outlook. Why has Steamboat dropped so much? I think because they did come on and say that it'll never have a different tag. I do think also because the whole market's dropped down, right? Steamboat was what? Why is this not? Okay. 482 for a common. 594. Oh my gosh. $4,300 on the ultra rare. This is back to the pretty much the price of almost what I bought it for. So the price is down. I mean, it's half of what its price was, right? However, that's crazy that it's at half, because when I look at the Steamboat Willie, it is such a long-term hold. It is such a strong collectible to the IP of Disney. I mean, the fact that it is at that price compared to, like, there's still a significance to Spider-Man, right? But the Ultra Rare Spider-Man was 100K at one point, and now it's at 57K. Was it realistically at 100K, or was it pumped to that price? I would say it was pumped to that price. Now, but it was holding pretty solid around like 70K for quite some time, and it's retraced down to 50K or so. And then you look at Walt, right? The Walt statue is down significantly as well. So everything has just taken a hit, but some people have seen this as a why does this not work as well? There it is. Partners. So the partner statue, I mean, people were buying it at really high prices, man. 47K, 4,500K, or sorry, 47,000K, 45,000, and it's retraced down to 33,000. I think it's going to go lower. I know people don't want to hear that. I almost bought one for 25K USDT, and I did not. I still on the fence whether I should have done that or not, but I had other moves I need to make. Yeah. So everything's retraced quite a bit, including some of the blue chips, including some of the grails as well. So that's why Steamboat has dropped so significantly. Market is open. I mean, I don't buy the comics when they first open. I wait a few hours and then I just buy them cheaper. I think the Loki one will drop in price. OMI token is not a security. It's not a stock, entitling a user a share of the company, hence no legal obligation. Yep. Rip Curls nailed it. Yep. Sunderson nailed it too. Free market will determine the price. Hey, Taps, thoughts on Spider-Man 2099 bullish? Oh, man. So I want him. I think, though, I think it has a little bit more to fall. I think right around $1,700 to $1,600, it could drop further, because when you think of something that's still up in price by overall what's retraced versus what has not, Spider-Man 2099 is still pretty high for a Marvel Mighty, and it's still a lot of gems you can get for one. So a lot of people were stacking these pretty quick, right? When they were $1,600 and they were $1,700. So it's still at an area where some people could offload some more and use that $1,800 to buy other things, right? You can grab some golden moments for under, like, what's Wally at right now? Under $1,000 right now, right? So you can grab golden moments for selling off. You can grab 2 golden moments, right? You can grab this in a Lady in the Tramp for the price of a $20.99. So I think because of that, the price may dip a little bit more on the Spider-Man $20.99, even though I don't think most want to see it drop a little bit more. I saw some people buying them at like $3,000, $2,800, and I was like, ooh, I don't think it's worth that. And not now. Long term, yeah, but at the current standings where it was at today. I did see the OpenSea hack over the weekend. I will be working a little bit today, but not too hard, hopefully. Taps, I'm curious your thoughts on the GameStop stock market manipulation and upcoming NFT gaming market exchange with IMX Loopring. You has mentioned GME twice. Now, the GameStop thing, I mean, market manipulation is done every single day, every single hour, every single minute around the world. And if you don't think that people in crypto, if you don't think, it's just a matter of what gets revealed and what doesn't, right? And there's also tactics, I believe, to sometimes to what does get revealed, right? So like some of the market manipulation, like if you want the pricing to go lower on something, you have FUD created, right? Some of it's real, some of it's not. So it doesn't surprise me that there's stock market manipulation, especially with GameStop, especially looking at what happened in the price with the entire short squeeze multiple times. I mean, the players who were in it, I think the biggest market manipulation of the entire last year of 2021, look at Dogecoin. And I'm not hating on Dogecoin. Look at Elon Musk. The fact that the world's richest man could just choose a cryptocurrency and launch it into the moon. And did they audit his phone records? Did we actually know if he didn't, reach out to family members, reach out to partners, reach out to business associates to say, hey, you should probably buy some Dogecoin. If he didn't have actual conversations with people about this before he did it, before he went on random Twitter rampages about how Doge is going to be the currency of the space, you don't, right? But most likely he did, because that's exactly what happens in these markets is when you have the power of a voice, you can really manipulate things. And it's just a choice of integrity if you're going to do so or not. So it doesn't surprise me there's market manipulation with GameStop. It'll continue. I do think that it is interesting that David Yu has mentioned GME so many times. I don't know if we'll see something with GameStop NFTs come to Veve, but it's possible with the Immutable X partnership, right? We'll see. Hey, Taps, welcome from Amsterdam. Hey, how's it going? What do you think of the Ultraman sets? I think they're good long holds. I prefer Ultraman over Edo. I know that he's the ultra rare, but I do think having the Ultramans long term are going to outpace the Edo. Even though I was so big about him, because we wanted him for so long, and then he dropped him, we're kind of like, all right, like kind of faded into oblivion. Any updates on Recur? It's been pretty quiet. So updates on Recur, they did announce the money transfer license for US and was it Canada? But I don't think there's been anything substantial announced yet. They've spoken about all the college deals that are happening. They've spoken about how they'll be having, the first drops coming soon, but I would check in the Discord. I have not stayed on top of the Discord. Let's find out. There it is. Announcements. The Recur server will be closed. Okay, this is the one we've all been waiting for. Appreciate it. So the great news is US customers can now cash out. Yeah, the cash out piece was the biggest news that happened 10 days ago, but nothing really big yet. Like nothing substantial. In IMX AMA, they acknowledge that IMX Marketplace isn't the best. It's not. If you haven't used it, it's not great, but it's evolving, right? If you look at some of the other marketplaces as they've evolved, they've gotten so much better, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think they're stacking up some pretty solid projects, as well as I like the fact that you can sell things for multiple different currencies, including OMI. So I think that will be built up. They want to be the platform for the marketplaces. I expect Veve to partner with the GME market on IMX. It's very much possibly, I agree. How much of the market is affected by Russia? I actually did touch on that briefly. I do think there is a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, based on that right now, because what happens when countries go to war? It affects all of the markets, right? Because the US has sent troops out there just in case Russia does make moves. And I think it's posturing personally. I don't think they're going to actually truly full invade Ukraine. At least I hope they don't. If that does happen, then I don't think it would be a massive, massive thing, but you're going to have people freak out. People are going to take profits. People are going to freak out, pull all their money in, pull all their stuff in, because when you enter into war or times of skirmish, it has a vast effect on all markets. It affects the US stock exchange, affects the Chinese stock exchange, affects the Nikkei in Japan, affects everything. So that would have a total effect on the crypto market as well, even though I don't think we're going to go down that path. All right, everyone, we've been going strong. I've got to get to work, but happy President's Day. Thank you all for tuning in today. Congrats to all the W's on the either drop or on the rebound. There's a ton of rebounds today, so congrats there. I will be dropping a video hopefully today, but probably tomorrow morning getting back in the swing of things, getting back in the seat. Feels good. Happy to be back from my trip to Mexico. Thanks all for joining me. Hit that like button if you have not yet. And I will see you on the next drop or the next live stream. So thanks all and cheers.